Hi, this is Miss Cox, and in this video I'll be showing you how to use formulas in Microsoft Excel. So this is the second part of the Food Journal three-part video series, and what I'm going to be showing is how to use formulas to total up and also average some of the information you've typed in. So right now you've typed in all this information. We need to total up what the total number of calories, the total number of grams of fat, and the total amount of protein that you've eaten for each of these days. To do that, the easy way is to have Excel do it. What you need to do is you start by typing in the equal sign. Okay? You always type equals first in a cell when you want Excel to do some calculating for you. So you type in equals, and specifically we could go and click on each of these and say plus, this cell plus, this cell plus, this cell plus. We could do that, but there's a lot of cells and that would take a while. The easiest way to sum these up is to type in sum, S-U-M. Then once you've typed in sum, you type in parentheses, and you click and drag across the cells that you want it to sum up, close the parentheses, and then hit enter. This is the sum of these cells. And you can always look up here and you can see the formula is still up here in the formula bar. Sorry about that. Now, if I do it again, same thing, equals SUM parentheses, and then I click and drag across these, close parentheses, and hit enter. You can do it the other way. You could click and then press plus between each of the cells. This is fine too. It will do the same job. It'll add each of the cells together. But as you can see, it's a much longer equation, and frankly it's easier to mess up. There we go. So right now I've clicked on all the cells. I think they're all included. Oh, yeah. And basically if I hit enter at this point, it'll total it up as well. But I had to type all that stuff in instead of just this. So let me do it again over here. This time I'm going to hit sum, parentheses, I'll click and drag across the cells I want to total, hit enter. Now remember, there's an easy way to do this. Instead of writing in the same formula for each, in the bottom right hand corner of a cell there's this little black box. If you click on that and hold it down and drag over, it will copy whatever is in that cell. If there's a formula in that cell, it will copy the formula, and it will change the formula a little bit based on the new position. So this new formula that copied over, it changed the formula to automatically move the cells over to H. So in this cell, it was totaling these numbers, and when I copied it over here, it automatically changed it to total the numbers in the next column. That tool, when you click and drag over like that, that's called the fill tool. Alright, last thing we need to do is your average. So same thing, we're going to tell Excel to do some math for us. So we start with the equal sign, then we type in average. So we're going to have it total up what's the average number of calories that I ate over the 2 days. So average, and then you have to type parentheses, and you're always going to hit parentheses to tell Excel what cells are actually involved in this formula. So right now I'm going to click on the total calories for day 1. And then you'll notice down here it says number 1 and then comma for number 2. So I'm going to put a comma between, and then I'm going to click on the other cell I want it to average. I want it to average my 2 days of calories to see what my average calories were over those 2 days. I close the parentheses, hit enter, and bam. And you should see that the number is between your two numbers. So 1900 about is between 2100 and 1600. So I know that this looks like it's been averaged correctly. So the same thing here, equals average parentheses, and it doesn't matter if you capitalize it or put it all as lowercase. It'll still pull it up as long as you spell average correctly. Average parentheses. This time I'm going to have it average the total fat for each day. So this is day 1's total fat, comma, click on the other cell, day 2's total fat, close the parentheses, and I hit enter, and voila. And this time I had 57 here, 55 here, and my average is about 56. So that sounds like it's correct. Now this last one, I'm going to use the fill tool again. I'm going to click and drag over to copy that formula over here. And I can double check to make sure it did its job right by looking over here. This is 72 and this one's 76, so 74, yeah, that's in the middle. So that looks like it was averaged properly. Now I also want to put in what a healthy teenager is. A healthy teenager eats about 2,000 calories, give or take. It can always be a little more or a little less, especially guys can eat more. Sometimes male teenagers have much higher metabolism. Fat, you want the maximum fat, so we'll say 65 at most. Okay, so you don't want more than 65 grams of fat. I'm actually going to widen that a little bit. Actually, let me just undo that. Undo. I'll change this to 65 max. And for protein, you want 50 at least. So 50 minimum. You don't need at least 65 grams of fat. You need less than 65 grams of fat. Protein, you need at least 50 grams. I'm going to change these so they're right aligned, so they're pulled to the right. And then it's time for the reflection. The reflection, I'm going to write what I need to do differently. It looks like my calories are about on track with where they should be. I'm definitely getting enough protein, but my fat's pretty close to the max. So I'm going to write, I need to, and you can fill this in, but I would put, I need to eat less fatty foods because it can lead to health problems like heart disease and other things. You don't have to go into anything too specific, but I just want you to reflect on what this says about your diet. Okay? At this point, you're done with step 2 and you're ready to move on to the graphing. So the next video will be all about the graphing. Thank you for watching.